What's up, everybody? Jay here. Uh, all my family videos are going out of business, getting rid of a lot of old stock. So, the last few months, I've been buying a lot of video games for resale, some for my collection. And in order to make it easy to know my inventory and the values, I started using an app called GameEye, which apparently pulls prices, I think, from eBay and maybe other sources to give you the price based on the condition that you have. So you can have boxed, manual, no manual, whatever, complete in box with the manual. Um, and I ended up putting all of my collection in there as well. And I was kind of surprised by what I seen for some of those games that I loved as a kid, but didn't really think they had much value. Um, so I just wanted to kind of do a quick video going over my 12 most valuable games. I think I have like 20 different systems or some shit. The games in my 12 most valuable come from GameCube, Super Nintendo. There is a PlayStation 4 game, which surprised me. And PS2. So, yeah, we're gonna. The 12th one was only $60 in value. So let me grab my other phone here so I can show you the exact. All right. So for the Nintendo GameCube, my 12th most valuable game at only $60, which I mean, I guess for this came out what, 15, 20 years ago? I don't know, something like that. Mario Party 4 on the GameCube, complete in box according to GameEye, goes for $60. And I do have this complete. This is a game that I bought back when I got my GameCube, probably day one ish. I didn't buy the system day one, but the day I bought the GameCube. Pretty sure I bought this. Um, Kind of surprised it's held up its value at $60. That's the I don't know if it's backwards on there. I forget one of my phones flips the videos back when it's reversed and one of them don't. So let's see here. The second uh, game here for PS4, I just think that this one's a recent release and I don't think it sold well. But it's only valued at $64 complete in box, 71 new. And I only played a couple hours of it. It's not very good, but Terminator Resistance. The only thing I can think is that it did not sell well. Um, so maybe down the road it will be one of those games where it it just has value because there wasn't many sold. But I mean, this is as complete as games are now. Oh, here's that. I don't think I ever used this. So here, someone can have this. Looks like a digital comic code. I don't know if you can read that or not. And then this should be the redemption instructions. I hope it's the right direction when you look at it, because I think it's actually my other phone that I have in my hand now that doesn't flip the shit. Can you read that? Go to digital.darkhorse.com/Terminator_resistance and use this code here. ELX8CMD4, and I guess you get 2 free comics. Maybe it's still good, maybe it's not. But $64 right now, I don't know. I feel like this has got to be still available. And I think did this come out at 40? Was this a $40 game? I think this was a budget game. It was like I want to say maybe 30 or $40 when I first got it. But I didn't pay full retail for that either. So the third game, we have a Super Nintendo game. This is a game that I loved as a kid, was never able to beat. This spot on the wall up here is bothering me because I have a Michael Myers. I have these Toonie Terror figures, and I have Michael Myers on the way, but he's not here yet. So Mikey will have a home here eventually. Maximum Carnage, and I had these in protective cases just because I'm a nerd and I've always had that. This one goes for $66 boxed. It looks like if you have it with the manual, it's 116. So I do not have the manual for this. This is one game that I bought. I bought it from a trade store back in the day when I traded in some shit. It says $14.99. That might be what I bought or traded value wise. This was a very fun game. One of the few LJN games that is good. I never beat it though. It was hard for me. Was this one two-player? I think this was, but I don't recall offhand. I think so. Anyway, this was a fun game. LJN surprised everyone, I think, when they discovered that game. All right. Complete in box 116 and 268 new. I don't know. Again, these are coming from GameEye, the app, so who knows how accurate they are, but I did do a little bit of research because there's one game in here that really surprised me. And it seemed pretty close. So, all right, the next one is another Super Nintendo game. All of the Super Nintendo games that will be featured coming up here, these are all from my childhood games that I bought, and I remember exactly where I bought them and why I bought them. Walmart, when I believe it must have been when the 64 probably was coming out, they had huge bins of Super Nintendo games that were $20, $19.99. I think a few were $10.99 or $9.99, and I remember every other weekend I would go to my dad's house, and he would always give me $20 for that weekend to spend or whatever, and then I'd go gallivant with my half brother or whatever, and we would always go to Walmart, and I would always just flat out spend my $20 on a video game. So I bought a bunch of Super Nintendo games, and I kept the boxes and the manuals because I always did stupid shit like that, but I'm glad I did now. So the next one is Donkey Kong Country 2. This is complete in box. Again, has the protector on it. Complete in box, 67. I kind of would have thought this was higher. But again, these are actually all games except for Terminator, really. And I didn't really love Mario Party 4, but these are all games that I liked as a kid. But I don't know if I ever realized how popular some of these were. Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy Kong's Quest, complete in box, 67. New, it would go for $358. Is that right? Loose, only $22. Plastic seal means a lot to some people, I guess. So, there's that one. Next, we have a game that surprised me. PlayStation 2 game that says that it goes for $95 boxed and $213 new. This is actually a game that I got in a subscription box maybe a year or two ago. I tried a few months of Retro Game Treasure. I wasn't getting good value in those boxes at all. I got this, and I remember all my boxes were probably like $10 to $15 less in value from what I paid them. So I stopped doing it. So I want to say this was about $30, maybe 25 to 30 at that point 2 years ago when I got it in the box. And now apparently it's up to 95. And mine is, let's see, mine is only boxed. Right? No. See, it says boxed 95. But then you open the game and it says box 26. So I don't know. Silent Hill 4, The Room. Says complete in box 86. So I think there's some glitch on the app, but I threw it in there just in case. You let me know. I saw one on eBay for 36, but it was a bid and there was a bunch of bids on it, so it was going up. And then the first like buy it now one I think was 80 something. I do not have a manual. So I don't know. You let me know how valuable this game is. Next we have, of course, the classic. And now the app did not differentiate, I don't think, between the player's choice and the regular. But this is the player's choice Zelda um, Link to the Past for Super Nintendo Complete in Box. And according to the app here, it says Complete in Box $100. New 694. So they did not have two separate listings that I could tell for the Player's Choice and the regular. So this may be a little less than that. But $100, shit. I know I paid $20 for it back in, I don't know what year it was. I didn't have a 64. I went from Super Nintendo to PS2. Still don't have a 64. Alright, another Super Nintendo. This is a game that I absolutely loved as a kid. Never heard a single person talk about. So the fact that it showed up on the top 12 most valuable here surprised me. Complete in Box for $102. Maui Mallard in Cold Shadow, a Disney game. Looks like Donald Duck to me, but apparently his name's Maui Mallard. This was a game where you would switch between like a Magnum PI looking Donald Duck and a Ninja Donald Duck. Very fun little platformer. I remember you could use his staff here to swing on shit. I love this game. I remember it being hard as fuck. Maybe it'd be easier now that I'm older, but a lot of these retro games that I've revisited actually are fucking harder now that I don't have the patience anymore. But this was a great game. I always fucking loved this game. Never heard a single person mention it, and now apparently it's worth $102 complete. New $169. So we had the second one, of course. Donkey Kong Country 3 is also on here again. Player's Choice, don't know. Was the second one a Player's Choice as well? No. This one is a Player's Choice, so I guess that would have been the re-releases, huh? Unless they were just, well, it's million seller, so yeah, it's got to be a re-release. This one said $107. And again, didn't differentiate, so I don't know if that's the original release or this one. But this is Complete in Box. It says new $306. This game was good. I remember not liking it as much. I don't think the baby was that fun to play, as I recall. Whatever his name was. Baby Kong or something, probably. But the Donkey Kong Country games were challenging. I did beat all those when I was young, surprisingly. I definitely broke a few controllers back in the day. Probably on those games. But I did beat them. They were fun. This was a game, another one, that I absolutely loved playing. I think this came out probably early high school years for me, maybe 9th, 10th grade, something like that. And again, me and all my friends played it, but I never heard a single other person talk about it, especially the GameCube version. But Def Jam Fight for New York. This game, I can't believe that Complete in Box it would go for $115 and new $130. I was huge into rap and hip hop. Definitely discovered that probably middle school to high school and was obsessed with anything hip hop. Loved Def Jam. Loved this game. Loved Vendetta, the first game. I have it Complete in Box. Played the shit out of this. I probably have. You could create your own characters in this. And I always hated wrestling games and shit, so I don't know why I liked this so much. But the music was amazing, of course. And you could create your own characters through a career mode, and then they'd be so OP, you just beat the shit out of all your friends. So I probably have 6 characters on here that I created, played the whole game through, and just would annihilate my friends, and they had no idea why. But it's because you're fucking OP stats, bro. Great fucking game, though. And I can't believe it goes for $115. Another game, amazing, and I just found out there was a sequel to this. I had no fucking idea. Zombies Ate My Neighbors. There's another game coming out that is like a spiritual successor to this. Kind of like they did with the Bloodstained or whatever with Castlevania. There's a game coming out that's similar to this. And I had no idea there was a sequel. What was it called? Demons Ate My Neighbors, I think. I just saw a fucking YouTube video like 2 weeks ago where they were talking about it. I'm like, what the fuck? How did I never know that? But that again is another expensive game, I believe. Zombies Ate My Neighbors complete in box 115 as well. Great fucking game, very difficult game. And as I recall, there are passwords, but I think they were pointless because I don't think you keep your items. And I think it's impossible to beat the fucking game without your items, so you almost have to just do it. And there was a lot of levels, right? Wasn't there like 50 or 60 levels? 55 horror-filled levels. This game was great, though. If you have not played it, definitely do. Brilliant game, especially if you like horror movies. There's so many classic horror homages, and it's awesome. Two more. Another Super Nintendo game. Actually, the only Super Nintendo game. These are all my boxed Super games. Oops, I hit the camera. Except for one that apparently is only worth about 30, which is Toy Story. And I think that is because years ago, I sold a bunch of them that I didn't play anymore. Especially stuff like Mega Man X. I remember I sold for, I think it was over 100. I sold it in the box complete, like maybe 5 years ago, something like that. I probably could sell Zelda because I have that on the Mini. It's on the Switch Online. I don't really need it, but it's kind of nice to keep for that. But Mega Man X, I never fucking got very far in. I suck at those Mega Man games, so I didn't bother keeping that one. There was some other. I didn't even play them, I don't think, but I had the Pokemon Red and Blue in the box complete. Sold those bitches for the Game Boy. Couldn't believe they were worth that much, and I never really. I think I got them as a gift maybe one year or something, and just they sat in a box for 20 years, you know. Um, there was a couple other Super Nintendo games that I sold that were in the box, though. I think X Razor. I don't think that was worth a lot, though. All right, but the second one here, Battletoads Double Dragon. This was a game that I fucking loved. Again, terrible at it. Never got very far. Always died, but it was fucking awesome. I also have Battle Maniacs, but only loose, which is another great game, and I don't think it's worth very much loose. This is complete in box, and apparently goes for $120. Complete in box, new $255, loose $29. Well, if it's only box without a manual, it's 45. So manual's worth a fucking lot, I guess. I think most people just buy the shit as they find it, buy the manual separate later, because I don't think what's the difference there, like $75. I don't think they're gonna charge you that for the manual. But awesome game. If you have never played a Battletoads game, they will whoop your ass. I just played the new one. I played, I don't know, 4 hours or something. Game's still hard as fuck, but they are fun. I quit the new one because it started being all mini games, and I said, "Fuck your shit." I didn't play Battletoads, play mini games. But this one and Battle Maniacs are awesome. And the last one, very surprising to me, a PlayStation 2 game worth $194 complete in box and $285 new. This is a game that I don't know if I beat. I don't remember loving it, but I loved the show, based on a show, and I had to get it. Anything Simpsons I buy. I buy everything games, video games, board games, books, comics. I'm a Simpsons collector. But I also loved Futurama, the show. And this is kind of like an episode of the show almost. I remember the camera was a pain in the ass. It was one of those 3D platformers where the camera, I don't think you could control it that well, and I think it would bump into everything around you. So I remember the platforming being very difficult because of the camera, but I remember the story being very funny and the game being decent. But I can't believe this game goes for almost $200 complete in box. I have not looked on eBay to see if that is the case, but I wonder if it's just because it didn't sell well or what. I think Futurama, because I mean, it was canceled after, what, 4 seasons? Not even. Um, I think this was a show that really took off later in reruns. I was there from the beginning. I had all the DVDs. I had the DVDs before it was renewed on, like, what was it, on Comedy Central again for a while. And then there was another network that brought it back again, wasn't there? I think it got brought back twice. I have them all on DVD and Blu-ray now. Um, it's a great fucking show, and this game is okay. So I think maybe they just didn't sell well when it first came out, and people are kicking themselves in the ass now that they never picked it up, and now it's rare and expensive. That's my guess. But I've had this since probably the day it came out, because back in the PS2 days, is back when I was super gamer boy. I was like, oh, fuck you. Picking up hookers in GTA and thinking I was the shit. But $285 new for this, and 194 complete, $97 loose. So just the disc is worth $97? What the fuck? What were PS2 games when they first came out? Were they 60 still? I don't remember. I think they were, actually. The manual alone is worth 30 and the box 24. So, that's crazy. So those are my 12 most valuable games. One or two shockers in there for me. So, if you're interested in knowing what your collection is worth, check out the GameEye app. Like I said, I don't know how accurate it is, but it's better than doing the research. I have over 1,000 games. A couple hundred, probably 200 of those are digital, but it'll show you the value. And if you are someone who's a physical collector, you'll be happy because it does. You put them in order by like least valuable to most valuable. The digitals are right there at the bottom of that fucking list. So you're like, hey, digital people, your games aren't worth shit. That's why I like physical media to the day I die. But take care, everybody. Go make some money on those fucking games you don't play anymore. After looking at that, I might be listing a few of these on my eBay store. Take care.